What's the best way to get rich? The best way to get rich is to be really, really smart, hardworking, and disciplined, and then wait 30 years. That's true today, it was true in 1926, and it was true back in ancient Babylon. That's George S. Clason's point in his book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which is it's like a bunch of parables about people in ancient Babylon making good money decisions and having good things happen to them as a result. The way he puts it, gold is reserved for those who know its laws and abide by them. It sounds corny and cheesy, but it's good advice. Clason's first piece of advice is save money. The way he puts it, for every 10 pieces of gold you get, spend 9 of them and put 1 of them aside for yourself. After all, if you don't save money, then A, you have nothing to invest, and B, you're just living to paycheck and you're not really building anything. How much you save is kind of more important than how much you earn. In The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort talked about how he had salespeople who were making $1 million a year and they would spend it all and they would still live paycheck to paycheck. They would have nothing saved away. And then in contrast to that, in the book The Millionaire Next Door, the authors talk about how most millionaires aren't people who spend a lot of money, they're people who save a lot of money. You don't want to be too much of a miser, you want to enjoy life while you're here, but at the same time, you don't want to give in to the temptation to spend money on everything that you can and blow your whole paycheck. You want to have the discipline to put something away while you can. So once you have some money, what do you do with it? Well, you invest it. Who do you invest it with? You invest it with people who know what they're doing. In one story, one of the characters invests a bunch of money with a brickmaker who's like, oh, I'm going to go and hang out with the Phoenicians and buy all these jewels from them, and we're going to go on this expedition. It's going to be super great. And then he loses all his money. It doesn't work. The expedition is a failure. And he comes back and he says, hey, sorry, I lost all your money. And then the guy goes and he gets some advice. He's like, why did you invest money with a brickmaker for advice on jewels and trading expeditions? He's a brickmaker. He doesn't know anything about jewels and trading expeditions. You should invest with him for brick-making projects, but not for anything else. Obviously, you want to invest your money with somebody, but make sure it's somebody who knows what they're doing. This is kind of similar to Warren Buffett's approach to investing, which is just find really, really smart people who run really, really, really good businesses that you understand and invest in them. So what if you do have a failure? Well, the important thing is not to get discouraged. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be like, oh, this is impossible. Just pick yourself up, brush yourself off, learn your lesson, and don't make the same mistake again. And then the last piece of the puzzle is your attitude. You got to look at the world as a fun game to play or a problem to solve rather than just something to complain about. There are a couple stories in the book of people who, they become enslaved and through sheer force of will, they're able to buy their freedom or escape, and then they go back home and they pay off all their debts and they build a life of richness and comfort for themselves. And those things are easier said than done in the real world, but you can do them. If you really set your mind to something and you get lucky, you can get out of almost any bad situation. The psychologist Viktor Frankl talks about that in his book Man's Search for Meaning, which is about how he escaped from Auschwitz and his philosophy that your attitude is everything. You also need to be able to ask for advice. People, either their ego's too big or they're too proud and they don't want to ask for help, but there are a whole bunch of other people who have been through what you've been through before, and they can tell you, hey, here's what I'd do in your situation. They have some really valuable stuff to say. And if you listen to them, it helps you. And that's a whole lot better than just arrogantly assuming that you know everything and making a mistake that you didn't have to make and failing. Obviously, getting rich isn't easy, but it's easier than most people make it. If you save, you invest wisely, and you have the right attitude, then you can have a very successful life. The big problems are mostly that A, people don't know that, and B, if they do know it, they don't necessarily have the discipline to follow it. It's way too easy to, go and buy a new car or put your money in some dumb crypto thing or complain and whine, but if you don't do those things, then you'll be in good shape. So thanks for watching Theo's Book Club. If you're new here, my name's Theo. I make short videos like this one going over the big ideas in the books that I read so that you can learn what I learned and so you can decide, do I want to read these books for myself? If you like this video, I hope you'll hit the like button. That tells YouTube, hey, this is a good video, we should show it to more people, which I would greatly appreciate because this is a brand new channel, I'm trying to grow it. You can also hit the subscribe button, then you'll see more of these book review videos popping up in your feed. And until next time, be smart and have a great day.